Hello, hello. Hello, it looks like it's working. Looks like it is working. Getting everything set up. Looking nice, looking nice. What up, Unreal? Just getting everything set up. Oh, my dog just came downstairs to hang out. Nice. How's it going, Bunny? Bunny, you're here all the time. I don't know what this does, but enjoy. You're now a moderator. Hi, Beth. I'm glad. I'm glad you're here. I know Beth personally. Hello, hello. I said 7, so I'll wait till 7. But I actually have a docket, so that's pretty cool. Happy with it. I'm fucking tired. I'm trying not to be right now. I hope you can all hear my dog drinking water. It's good. It's good. Beth, be a good friend. Ask me an interesting question. Good job. I'm proud. Um, what song would be the worst song to die to? That's a good one. Cotton Eye Joe's a good choice for that. The Macarena would suck too. Ooh, We Like to Party by the Vanga Boys would be real annoying. That was a decent question. I'm happy with it. Good job. The frog song. It's the frog song. I'll play it. Is it is it this? I said astronaut in the ocean. I definitely can't. I mean, I can play stuff. It doesn't matter. I guess I don't make any money from this anyways. Um, I'll look that up too. I'm gonna guess it's Crazy Frogger. Do you mean Ava Starrett? Oh, this would be great to die to. Or was it this one? Oh, it's definitely this one. It's definitely that one. Alright, that would be pretty bad. What did you say? I cannot type. Masked wolf. Okay, but yeah, no, that would. That's fine. You better be ready for D&D. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be killed to it, Kobora. That's why it's a good song to choose for that answer to that question. Alrighty. Well, it's 7:01. You made me late. Fuck you. Um. Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. KiwiTalks number 3. I got some cool stuff. We're gonna read through this review of Sonichu on bad webcomics. It's going to be great. We had some updates on the lol cows everybody knows and loves. We're going to talk a little bit about just random shit on the internet that I've seen. Things I've been watching, things I like, the good stuff, you know. But this I found this just looking around for stuff since the Kiwi Farms is fucking yeeted right now. I can't get on it. No one can get on it. It's black holed everywhere. Um, on all domains. Even the dark web's gone. Oh my gosh. Wait, did Letitia do shrooms? I know she's in prison. I know that much. Some commenters were giving me information. Uh, So I'm excited to hear more about that. Please type it out for me, and I'll read it when we get there. Type it out for me to the lolcow updates. We're starting with this. I've read a little bit of it. I don't know if it's funny or not. Um, I hope it is. I'm hoping this wasn't written by somebody who was a follower, like a Christorian. I hope this was written by somebody who stumbled upon Sonichu and said, wow, this is bad. Warning, this webcomic is so bad it's good. This webcomic is so fucking stupid it's actually fun to read. Decide on your own if you want to read the review and ruin the surprise. She did an almost 6 hour stream on shrooms a day before she was arrested. Oh, I'll look through that. I'm totally gonna look through that. But we will get to that. We will talk about that, I promise. But here we go. This is written by Odd Guy on Bad Web Control the Bad. This is Bad Webcomics Wiki. Badwebcomics.wiki.shoutwiki.com. I don't know when this was written. Um, yeah, it doesn't say. Maybe it'll say somewhere in here though, I hope. But let's go. So, we author Christian Weston Ricardo Chandler. What's the Ricardo from? All these links are dead because yeet to the farms and all other connected domains. But what was the Ricardo for? Um, what's the rating summary? Art. They say autistic people are supposed to be artistically inclined, but I see no evidence of that here. I could draw better than this in the fourth grade, if not sooner. The storyline, shock, most insane crap you will ever read, and yet not remotely entertaining. That's not true. Sonichu is extremely entertaining. Ricardo, Ricardo was his name in Spanish class. Yeah, the quicky's still down. I'm sorry. Gino's stream last night, he actually talked about it's going to be a little hard to work on until Josh can get some things stabilized. And he said he can access the quickie through some broken archives, but he really needs the Kiwi Farms to get the full picture. Um, Characters, all the heroes are Mary Sue Sonic Riku colors. All the heroines are objects that can talk and only exist to serve as someone's love interest. All the like most comics, all the villains are demonized versions of people the creator knows in real life with their actual motivations replaced with they hate autistic people and want to stop Chris from finding love. So far this is really sounding like this guy doesn't know about Christery. Miscellaneous details, I wouldn't even know where to start overall. Never in your life will you find something quite as bad and deranged as this. You have my guarantee. Yeah, so I hope this is a normie looking through this. This is good. So background. Take Tim Buckley's attitude, Tom Preston's commitment to criticism, JDR's insanity, Bleedman's love of plagiarism, Jay Naylor's political views, and Dave Hopkins' art skills, and now add all those things together and multiply the sum by a factor of 1 centillion. That is a 1 followed by 303 zeros. And you have Christian Weston Chandler's The Adventures of Sonichu and Rosechu. Sonichu for short. It is without a doubt the worst webcomic ever. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, that's just your opinion, but I can assure you it is an undeniable fact. Before I even start, I think a few preemptive clarifications and apologies are in order. Firstly, I regret to admit that this will not be a comprehensive review. This is simply because addressing every single flaw in this comic and every single public spectacle caused by its creator is an insurmountable task. That's not true. We've surmounted that task over at the Kiwi Farms and the Quickie. Everything documented evenly, nice in order, all the ducks in a row. Even adding links for everything that is mentioned in this article to the corresponding page is a bit too much. At the moment, Chris Chan has one of the longest and most convoluted articles ever written on Encyclopedia Dramatica. And there are two entire wikis dedicated to Christian and his comic. The Quickie contains over 1,300 articles and grows continuously, and now defunct but still archived Wikipedia contains an additional 899 articles. There's also a third, now deleted wiki that dealt solely with Asperchu. So that one you can access through the archives, ladies and gentlemen. The archives for the Quickie are still, or the Asperpedia is still up, not the Quickie. The Quickie's yeeted as well. And other numerous Sonichu parodies that once ran rampant and flooded the net had another 620 articles. Simply listing everything there is to say about the comic and the man who made it without even going into detail about it would still result in an article at least twice as long as anything else on Bad Webcomics Wiki. Unlike other reviews, there were attempts to address everything with Sonichu. I humbly admit that this cannot be done. It is impossible to keep up with everything Quick does, let alone catalog it all on a single page. It's not on a single page, but it's there for sure. Secondly, as you can tell from the intro, this review will run a bit long, and it will be picture heavy because this stuff is just too funny. That's true. Like I explained, although I can never mention everything there is to say about this topic, there is a lot to discuss. I will try to shorten it as much as I can, but this comic deserves a review as long as it gets. And the last thing I would like to apologize for is this untimely fashion in which this review has been presented. A Sonichu review is long overdue. This is the worst webcomic in history. It may be the worst piece of art ever made, if you can even call it art. It goes beyond having no value or merit to the point that it actually does damage to its readers. Reading this thing may very well make you dumber. I regret a review for it was not made sooner when the comic was more relevant. Ah, interesting. So maybe there is. We're gonna pin a timeline down, all right? You guys gotta help. My Christery's good. It's not great. Its thread had been lying dormant since 2009, and even though Chris no longer makes as much of a scene when he's insulted online, I still write this review with an almost perverse glee at the thought that he may discover and blow yet another shit fit over it. So buckle up, get your puke bucket, and get ready to enter the magical world of Sonichu. It really is a magical world, Sonichu that is. Why even review this? When this comic was brought up by the Bad Webcomics Wiki forums, one of the questions that arose was, why bother? This comic is widely regarded as the worst comic ever made. Everything there is to say about it has already been said, all of its flaws are apparent at a first glance, so there's really nothing to review. Furthermore, its creator is autistic and uses his diagnosis as a shield, so there's no reason to think any criticism will inspire him to improve. And indeed it hasn't, so why bother even writing a review for something everyone already knows is bad? Except for the last point that I will address later in the author biography section, I would like to explain why I still went ahead and made the review for this thing. It's very simple. No one has ever reviewed this comic, despite it being the most infamously bad webcomic ever to reach the internet. No noteworthy webcomic review site has ever written an article about it. As a person who chooses to document this part of the internet culture, it is remiss of us to have overlooked this comic. I'm speaking not only for the people who write articles for this website, but anyone who has picked up the gauntlet of webcomic reviews, bad or otherwise, and attempted to fill the void left by John Solomon. Everyone and their dog has already said their piece regarding Chris Chan. Yet we, the ones who should have been the first to approach this, have ignored this literally for years. Us overlooking Sonichu would be like a chef refusing to use salt. Not having it reviewed on this website is like composing a list of history's greatest thinkers and leaving out Einstein. Jesus Christ. So I know that I am stating the obvious. I know that I am scratching the bottom of the barrel, and I know that there's no need to tell anyone this comic is bad. Still, it needs to be an article on this website. Not because I need to convince anyone that it's bad, but simply because it needs an article. I agree with that sentiment. So let's see. We're starting with the downfall. There's no up. There's no up on this story. I would like to simply say that this comic was bad from the very beginning, and there's no comic for which this is more true. But that would be taking the easy way out. To be more precise, there are two instances where this comic's quality takes a nosedive, like a drunk Olympic swimmer flying a malfunctioning airplane with one wing missing. Damn. The first comes around issue 2, episode 7. That's pretty far in. That's the third one he wrote. Where the focus shifts from the comic's titular character Sonichu to Chris Chan's Mary Sue self-insert. From then on, the comic becomes a series of deranged payback stories about people who Christian thinks wronged him, most of whom are just doing their jobs, and desperate pleas for sex by way of ham-handed and obvious additions of girls he was interested in, 70% trolls and 30% of girls who found him repulsive, into the comic. Not to say that those things are not what the comic has always been about, but once the camera swayed away from Sonichu and onto Chris, it became more obscene and self-indulgent. That's not surprising. I mean, it's Chris. Chris just degenerated quick with the internet around him, just surrounding him and making him a psychopath. The second part, where the webcomic cranks the crazy up to 11 is near the end. As the comic was winding down to its inevitable demise, Chris began to become more and more unhinged as a result of constant trolling. And around issue 10, it descended into full-on lunacy. The last two chapters focused almost exclusively on Chandler's epic journey, where he brutally murders all his tormentors alongside countless innocent civilians. Most of the last chapters read like a poorly drawn propaganda pamphlet advocating an anti-gay genocide, as well as a semi-separate one for intent trolls. I say semi-separate because in Chris's mind, all trolls are homosexuals and therefore evil. I am not making this up. He is not, folks. This is Chris's ideas and ideologies 100%. Chris really thought anyone who was gay was evil, and anyone who is evil is a homosexual. Guaranteed 100%. That is words Chris has definitely said in some way, shape, or form. This picture down here says, "Yes, my love quest is finally over." And I guess ringing true today. That is, I mean, his love quest is finally over, you know? He found Barb. Story and plot. This story is the most deranged thing you will ever lay eyes on. The most amazing thing about it is that there actually is a story at all. Of course, it doesn't make a lick of sense and has so many plot holes that you could paint it yellow and call it SpongeBob. But the fact that there's actually some kind of continuity between chapters is a shock in itself, that I could barely recover from. There's some kind of prophecy, people trying to get their hands on Sonichu, the Sonichu balls. Sonichu's balls. The Sonichu balls. Some characters disappear and cannot rejoin the plot until they are saved from whatever they are stuck, and everything winds down to a climactic battle where Chris and Sonichu finally get the balls, evolve into their final forms, ultimate forms, and go fight all their enemies that have joined into one group to destroy Quickville. The fact that Chris can remember the plot points from the past episodes is something I can still never get over. I think we can safely say... Did you already show the straw pic? Oh, Barb, don't say that. What's the straw pic? Is it up here? I don't think so. If there's a straw pic on here, I didn't show it yet. But yeah, this is good. This is awesome so far. I'm not disappointed. Here is a summary of the story that was relevant to the plot and did not veer off into a psychotic tangent. Everybody, this is truly what Sonichu is. Sonichu is about a fictional city, which Chris currently believes is a real place. Whether this belief is recent or from the beginning is up for debate. Called Quickville, pronounced Quickville somehow, and founded by Chris Chan's father, who named it after his son, who had not yet been conceived, where Chris is the mayor, because that position is handed from father to son with no need for an election. When Sonic the Hedgehog fights a monster on the outskirts of town, he crashes into a Pikachu and it becomes a totally new and original character called Sonichu. This somehow also makes Chris his father. The crash also creates a magical rainbow that sends out eggs all over Virginia, the moon, in the past for some reason, that hatch more Sonichu recolors, original characters. That is the setup. The plot is more about Chris himself. It follows his romantic misadventures with girls he knows in real life but who are only interested in him in the comic and avoid him in real life, and his dealing with pretty much anyone who has ever caused him any kind of perceived injustice. This includes a shop owner who banned him from his store for harassing black children and pretending they stole from him, security guards who threw him out of several shops and malls for soliciting sex and harassing young girls, an old school dean who kicked him out of school for soliciting sex, all men ever for making it hard for him to get a girlfriend, internet trolls, all homosexuals, all asexuals, and anyone else he finds guilty of his own misfortune and mistakes. This is 100 written by a Kiwi Farms user or a Christorian of some kind. This is written just like it. Uh, I lost my spot thinking about that. Guilty on his own misfortune and mistakes. In the comic, his actions are portrayed in a far more heroic manner. In Sonichu, all these people are after Chris because they don't want him to lose his virginity, or just hates autistic people, and all have magical superpowers as Chris does. Every conflict devolves into a massive superhero fight in which Chris wins and deals out disproportionately cruel punishments to anyone who stands in his way. You know, the way he never could in real life. Oh man, do you guys remember when the miscreants all got together and Clyde Cash, like in his horrible anime voice, said to Chris that their goal is to stand in the way of Chris losing his virginity? Because I do, and that shit was hilarious. Oh, the anime voice was so cringy though. Uh, the setting of Quickville is even more ridiculous. Know Your Meme describes it as a totalitarian communist state, while TV Tropes says it's more alongside the lines of an Orwellian nightmare. I interpret it as a crumbling pseudo-religious dictatorship. If you look, you will see that all the elements are there. A megalomaniac leader that has inherited his power from his father that has passed on all of his administrative duties to his employees. His secretary in the comic does all the work. Set up his office at the top of the mall, which he cannot enter due to rebel forces. He literally can't get into his own office in his own comic, and is backed by his squad of superpowered goons who are, by his decree, above the law and may slaughter all of his opponents. There is only one government-sponsored radio station that plays 24/7 pro-Chris propaganda, and all Chris opposition is demonized in the press. And in a comic itself, and are either killed or executed after mock trials. All citizens are constantly monitored by the secret police, Magichan, in all aspects, including sexual activity. Gay sex is not allowed in Quickville, and all tobacco and alcohol is forbidden. All of this is just the beginning. I wrote 3 paragraphs without even getting into any of the actual plots. Like Chris's search for a boyfriend-free girl, God and Jesus, or God Jesus as Chris once called them, descending from all the heavens to tell some girl Chris hardly knew she should be his girlfriend. Chris making himself an imaginary twin sister, and Chris getting magical Sonichu superpowers from his Native American ancestors, etc. Do you want more crazy shit? Read the comic, or don't. Yeah, don't. Well, everybody, um, yeah, this is a Sonichu review. Sonichu review is great so far. This guy definitely knows how to write a nasty review, and he's ripping Chris a new one. Time for some art review. I'll review Chris's art right here. Now, I will say, Chris definitely is a better artist than I am. Bob gonna cut it all down. Bob's cutting all this shit. Bob took down the Kiwi Farms. It wasn't Keffel's, dude. Bob, Bob came in with the axe from the grave and just said, "Chop that shit down. No one needs that anymore." Pro Chris propaganda. Yeah, he says that in his comics. Um, put in Chris Chan Straw. I don't trust you guys, so I'll do it over here. Hello, Thor. He's yelling about something back there. What is this? Were you referring to this? Were you referring to this image here? When you said Chris Chan Straw? It's good. I like it. Or is there one Chris drew? Oh, I like it. Thank you. I like Chris art. Chris art's always good. Alrighty, so some art review. So Chris is definitely a better artist than I am. I'm fucking terrible at drawing. I've never been good at it. Um, I could probably draw this though. Like if it would take me a fucking long time. Let's go kick his ass for giving us Asperger's and drawing us so terribly. Wow. So he's going to. Oh yeah, that's about Alec Benson Leary. He's going to beat up Alec. The art looks like Chris drew it without using his hands. That's mean. I couldn't do this without my hands. He once quoted saying that it takes him an hour to make one page and he uses pencils, sharpies, and crayons. In a normal comic, I would have to pick and choose what is best panel to use for me to showcase the flaws in the art. But in this one, I don't even know where to start. I'm just going to pick a page at random. So let's see. They clicked on issue 9, page 82. Now, to me, this is definitely better than, again, anything I could ever draw. All right. So it says here. Oh my god, these aren't numbered. I liked when he numbered his text boxes. What legend brought these fans? Let's get 'em on the bed. Yeah, wait. What are those? Those long-haired beings are pulling him under. Gasp. Those are devil trolls. He was in an alliance with them. Giovanni, Robotnik, where's Rosechew? No worries, Sonichu. She's only fainted. She is safe for now, depending on your cooperation. Rosie, what have you done to her? She's right there. Why do you ask where the fuck she's right there? Oh, what have you done? I see. Now, where is she? Oh, no. He does say where is. She's right there, you moron. Jesus, Chris. In this one, the guy in the upper left corner is Ian Brandon Anderson. Yeah, there he is. There's Ian Brandon Anderson. Liquid Chris. Which is the real life name. Which is the real life. Holy fuck, guys. I'm getting it. Let me blink a few times. Which in real life was the name trolls called the real Chris Chan when someone else impersonated him for a while. Despite not looking anything like him, this was more than enough to make Chris rage. In the comic, uh, Ian has just been murdered by Sonichu and is being taken to hell by devil trolls as punishment for not being nice to Chris. After which Sonichu is confronted by Dr. Ivo Robotnik and Giovanni from Pokemon and his son, who is holding Rosechew hostage with the help of a Decepticon. But enough about what's going on and on to the art. What is there to say? You have eyes, don't you? You see it. None of these characters look like who are they supposed to be. Nothing is consistent. The background has a habit of disappearing without explanation, as well as characters' entire bodies whenever Chris gets too lazy, leaving them with nothing but a floating head. And Eggman's nose looks like a penis. It does. The art fits the story like a shit-encrusted glove. If you pay attention, you will also notice that Rosechew is a dead ringer for Amy Rose. At one point in the comic, they meet, and it's impossible to tell who is who. No, Amy Rose has I'm sorry, Rosechew has the Sonichu tail. It's very easy to tell who's the different one. Oh, and did you know that Chris also has a degree in computer-aided drafting and design? What have you done with your life? But spending 6 years getting his 2-year degree still did not seem to help him at all. Not even fully sentient supercomputer from the future like a HAL 9000. What the fuck was that? HAL 9000 could help Chris with his drafting and design. Even more hilariously, whenever someone makes a parody of his comic, he criticizes it on the quality of its art, claiming it's not as good as his own. Actually, yes, I have been listening to Smokey McSee on YouTube. Check him out. His brightest days of Christery, listening to the Alec Benson Leary phone calls. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Alec Benson Leary phone calls about Asperchu, and he gets. They're really good. That series has been really good. He's done a really good job with that. I wanna say, he does a great job. But Chris criticizes his art all the time. Says it's so bad. He doesn't. He just can't see it, man. I don't know. He must have blindness of some kind of blindness to what's real, and just sees what he wants to see. I grabbed a water. I'm gonna take a sip of it real quick, so I can talk as long as I need. Alrighty. So, writing review. There are two typos on the very first page. Our story begins in a open field 5 miles from the city of Station Square. And all text is written in all caps, Comic Sans. That's not enough. I think that says it all. Fine, read on. First, the characters. I grow tired of how often I have to say this, but there are no characters in Sonichu, not really. I read somewhere that Sonichu has 136 characters, yet not a single one of them has a personality. They are all a bunch of identical Sonic recolor Mary Sues. I don't know what a Mary Sue means. If anyone does, let me know. Mary Sues, with their leader Sonichu being a penultimate Mary Sue. He is second only to Chris Chan himself, who in the comic possesses all the power of his characters, making them obsolete, alongside his own powers, which only grow stronger when he transforms into Chris Chan Sonichu. And then again at some point into Chris Chan himself, who in the comic possesses all the powers of all his characters. Oh, I just read that. Colossus Sonichu is who we were supposed to get to. Someone might think I might be high if they listen back to this and how I read. But that'd never be the case. I wouldn't do that on YouTube. Um, and then at some point into Colossus Sonichu, which literally gives him ultimate godlike powers that allow him to warp reality as he sees fit and causes the cast to momentarily consider worshiping him as a god. He declines this offer. Well, he writes in the story, so he made that offer to himself. Although it seems pretty obvious that he thinks his characters, again, there's a possibility he thinks they are real, should worship him. Stay hydrated. And only declines because it may be blasphemous. Yes, Chris is very religious despite not understanding the Bible at all, and is possibly not fully understanding who Jesus even is. But getting back to the point, the irony in the story is amazing because it actually expects us to root for Chris. In most Mary Sue comics, the protagonist is impossibly virtuous while the villains are laughably evil. And Chris must think that this is also the case with his own comic, not understanding that even this would be a very flawed writing. But in reality, the comic shows him going around committing all kinds of atrocities like killing, maiming, and attempting to break up relationships for his own selfish reasons, and the villains seem like heroes trying to stop him. The comic is an insane revenge fantasy to end all insane revenge fantasies. What's more is all only compounded by the fact that it makes no goddamn sense. Chris poorly attempts to present his horrible actions favorably by morphing them into even more horrible ones, and while confusing the audience further by hinting, nay, screaming at them that he is the hero of the story. Mix all that with the fact that this comic follows no logic and that you get something so nonsensical that it makes your eyes cross. Time travel arcs and retcons don't help either, and the result is a mix of unintentionally hilarious and mind-bogglingly stupid. Going into detail about every kind of flaw this comic's writing has would take 2 eternities. So instead I give you Odd Guy's Top 15 Most Insane Moments in Sonichu. This'll be fun. I'm excited for this. There's some fun stuff here. There's a mall Chris developed. It has a face on it. Mary Sue is like a generic character with no flaws, super great at everything. Thank you, Drowsy. Basically, they can defeat everything that comes their way very easily. Okay, gotcha. So it's just like bad guy, good guy dominant. Excuse me. The Antuant Prophecy. Prophecy spelled wrong. Match punch. Sonichu Mac punches an old lady. Good job. Some of you may wonder where Chris gets his superpowers from in the comic. Surprisingly, this is actually explained. Unsurprisingly, the explanation is retarded. In the comic, he comes across a cave guarded by some guy who tells him that he is the chosen one from the Ancient Prophecy, foretold by the Cherokee Indians, and gives him his magic Sonichu medallion that Chris wears in real life all the time. That allows him to transform into Chris Chan Sonichu. But it doesn't end there. Chris' Native American ancestor also gives him the power to his wife's descendant, who just happened to be some childhood friend of Chris, who has been avoiding him for years after she grew up and remained at a mental age where he was when they met each other in preschool. And finally, he also gives powers to the future relatives of his mortal enemy from the opposing Native American clan. Who were the Cherokees' historical rivals? The Wasabi clan, of course. And who is their leader? Oh, and who is their leader's... Wait, what? And who is their leader's living next of kin? The girl's boyfriend, against whom Chris holds a grudge for letting her sit on his lap in front of him. A fucking harlot. Fucking whore bitch. Right, Chris? In the comic, the girl fights her evil boyfriend and punishes him for hurting Chris's feelings. In reality, she has long ago cut all connections from Chris for being creepy and obsessive about her. Probably one because he thought she might eventually sleep with him and didn't give a shit about his feelings. To give a little extra context, this friend of Chris's was the whole reason the Sonichu comics were even written. Sonichu, Rosechu, Blachu, a derivative of Shadow the Hedgehog, of course, because he's black, you get it, were the original stand-ins for Chris, the girl, and her boyfriend. Though he failed to impress her. Damn, who would have thought? He quickly found a new female friend and repurposed the comic to document his so-called love quest. The Wedding Bust. This saga continued when Chris found out this girl is getting married. He drew a comic in which her old boyfriend crashes the wedding and attempts to kidnap her, but is then defeated by Chris using Yu-Gi-Oh cards and returned to her husband, who is inexplicably a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. In reality, Chris was not invited to the wedding, and the guy who is in the comic attempts to kidnap her had long since forgotten about some girl he briefly dated in high school and couldn't care less about her upcoming wedding. That's fair. I mean, it's fair. It makes sense. Wow, this is a long fucking article. I did not think that when I started. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't think it was gonna be this long because we still got a lot to go. So we might start speed running a bit. So we can fit in the time frame. I got D&D at 9 p.m. So in like an hour and a half. I got a lot to get through. All these tabs up here. I mean, we might honestly just save it. We'll do like half of it today. We'll do probably the rest of these. So, in reality, Chris was not invited to the wedding, and the guy in the comic attempt to kidnap her had long since forgotten about some girl he briefly dated in high school and couldn't care less about her upcoming wedding. The one who didn't forget about her was Chris. The one who wouldn't let her go despite her never reciprocating his feelings was Chris. And the one she would have to have had been saved from, had he attended the wedding, is once again Chris. Yeah, Chris would be a bad choice to go to a wedding, like anybody's wedding, especially a girl that he had once known. Uh, so Sweet Pure Angelica. Sonichu recolors is Angelica. At the doorstep of a monastery and raised by nuns, she gets her flying powers directly from God, for which she shows her gratitude by having sex with a Pokemon in church. The Brown Note. Clyde Cash shits himself. Yeah, I'll give my own fucking review on based on the title and picture they give. Yes, make him shit himself. That will stop his army of giant robots. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's amazing. The loud anguish sighs Chris would give out at a wedding. At a wedding, yeah. The Return of Patty. Oh yeah, so this I know this one. Chris redrew Patty as a weird furry, and he makes out with it. And I love you, Chris. Jeff, oh my God. Chris beats an elderly woman and then harasses a handicapped person. Oop, wait, that's the same lady. I am not surprised. It only seems like it was yesterday when I was deemed a social outcast by the live spoken words of 100 men and women. Not one person would ever show me true love or devotion again. I don't understand. Your stubborn, dumb sweetheart search irritated me among all others. You kept going with such a strong will and spirit. I had no such will or spirit. It's like, a weird Sonichu. Sexy time with Shadow. I'll tell you what happens here. Chris. Chris was getting a little horny, and he was drawing his comic, and he said, "I'm gonna fuck Shadow today." Chris takes a stand for women's rights, but mostly himself. So in particular, I'll read this one. In this particularly insane saga, the character discovers that they are being drawn as either gay or a pre-op transgender on 4chan. This stupidity escalates when Rose Chu posts naked pictures of herself on 4chan, 4 cents garbage, as it is named in the comic, to prove she is all woman. In what has to be the most unarousing case of fan service in the history of webcomics, only to have a penis photoshopped onto her on the site, she then goes to confront the owner of 4chan at this point. It becomes evident that Chris does not realize that 4chan and Encyclopedia Dramatica are not the same sites, and that the person who wrote the article about him does not own either. They then go to the top of the 4chan tower, Moot Wishes, where Satan himself is an employee, and after giving a long speech about forgiveness, implying that not trolling Chris is the will of God himself, she takes off all of her clothes and beats him unconscious by shoving her vagina into his face. Yes, get naked and stick your vagina in his face. That'll teach him not to objectify women. Oh yeah. Can you guys see this? Hey, you can't. Hell yeah. That's awesome. It's awesome you can't see that. I don't remember the dog kiss. Oh, what the fuck is? Yeah, he kisses Patty when she gets there, dude. This is all a stand for women's like rights, I guess. The end of 4chan. So Chris thought he destroyed 4chan somehow. Um, I, it says here he does so with a Guitar Hero Wiimote. Uh, I don't know what just happened. My screen went black for a second. One of whom denounces trolling because he is straight. You can't be a troll and straight, just so that's clear. Hey, look, Chris did the thing where he just drew the fucking heads. He didn't even give hair to this person. Uh, yeah, but the end of 4chan, he destroys the 4chan by rocking out with a Guitar Hero. Black Street. Sonichu meets a sick, black, homeless, drug-addicted Jamaican war veteran living in a dumpster on the street. Sonichu calls the police. Holy shit. Animal abuse, child abuse, you decide. An egg carrying yet another Sonic ripoff lands in a dojo run by the XL Saga ripoff. By an XL Saga ripoff and hatches. The dojo owner's daughter is enraged by the infant's insolence of daring to be born in her father's presence and challenges the literal seconds-old newborn to a fight, brutally rips off the baby's tail, at which point he evolves into an offensive Asian racial stereotype version of Knuckles. Oh, that's good. I didn't know this one. Special School Massacre. Oh no. I assume someone shoots up a school. Uh, an evil witch uses brain control to turn the inhabitants of Quickville into her slaves. Chris explains to the audience that this ray only works on the slow in the mind. So, it would work on Chris. Ah, okay. So they just were beating up a bunch of retards. That's awesome. Oh my god, how good. Alex rape oh yeah. So Alec Benson Leary and him were arguing and he drew a scene where Alec had like kidnapped a bunch of Rose Chews and he kept them in their basement and like he was a fucking basement raper and he raped them in the basement. The Simon Chu Fiasco. So what happened was Chris stole this guy Evan's character, changed it to Simonla, and then something happened, and he was like, "Yeah, this is my character now. It's not Simon's. It's not Simon Chu anymore. It's Simonla." And he just said, "It's not Evans. This is my original character." And Alec Benson Leary actually gets on him really hard about, "Hey Chris, this isn't your fucking work. Don't take credit for it." But yeah. Uh, the Simon Chu Fiasco is entertaining because Alec doesn't let Chris let it go, and Chris just wants it to go away. And it's funny because if he just stopped interacting, it might go away. But we all know Chris would never do that, and he doesn't, and he still has it in prison. Yeah, he also is also found guilty of trying to assassinate Chris by dropping a massive hanging TV screen. Chris uses to broadcast a speech. He aimed to do so by hanging off the ceiling, Mission Impossible style, and cutting the steel chains with a pair of household scissors. And what's the number one absurdity? I am not homophobic. Now watch me kill all of these gay people. Chris travels to the future to find out that his blood is the cure for homosexuality. He fights his nemesis, who is the opposite of himself and therefore a super ultra gay and also evil, and injects him with his blood, giving him AIDS, curing him of gayness. Then he floods the world's water supply with the cure, his blood, and rids the world of homos. That is, yeah, that's a great moment in the Sonichu world. And I think that's a good place to stop. We'll pick up there further. We got like another half to go. We're not like a half, but whatever. I'll read the rest to you all tomorrow. I'm happy with how that went. I hope you all too, because we're moving on. We got some updates on the lol cows. And first, everyone's favorite, love notes for TLC. Oh, here's the shroom stream. I really didn't see this. We're not going to be watching the shroom stream today. I'm going to make another video on that. I'll splice it up better. I did see this one because I saw it was posted. Like it's old.
No.
Because
today is August 26, 2022.
So I watched a bit of that one. But we're going to be going through the last one she posted. So she posted this.
That's how crazy.
You just
Today is September 20th, 2022. I was supposed to be in court, but fuck everybody.
That's all you need to hear from that video. So you know she's not going to make it much longer on the streets like that. But I haven't watched any of this one, which was... Not any of that one. Any of this one, which was the last thing she streamed. So I thought we could just watch this together and pause if we see fit. So we'll keep your live chat up too.
Okay. So technically, within the U.S. government and everything that has happened with what has happened, particularly in my case, in my story, is that the U.S. government has violated me numerous times. They forced me to have medications in psychiatric facilities. They forced me into running around with a warrant during my entire pregnancy, which was illegal to have processed.
She just starts her streams
all of those things. The 3 weeks that they took to investigate the rape was not enough time. So I already knew that everything was illegal. I don't know who to talk to in order to get this squelched. Taken away, what's going on. I know that it could be the Illuminati. It could be those people at the very top that are stealing my child. That's what I told everyone from the beginning that I was freaking out because I knew that what was going on was illegal. The processings were illegal. Everything that had happened, illegal. So I thought at one point, oh, they're going to know that I know, right? They're going to stop, right? They're going to let loose or, let up at some point, right? They're going to let me have my child, let me have my life, offer me the money that they owe from the corruption that has happened, all the abuse that I've sustained throughout my life. They're finally going to pay me, right? They're probably going to help me pay me. They're going to take care of my kid because they know better. They know better than to continue with the process of trying to harass innocent victims. They should know better, right? So I filed the report against the man. He did rape me. He did clearly rape me in the middle of the night. And I will not back down. I will make sure that he is punished by the law. Because what is going on with me being punished through the law for speaking up, that's a violation of my constitutional rights as a human being, a disabled citizen here in the United States of America. So all of the corruption that has happened to me, the fact that they state that an officer is now tending to my newborn child, all of that is illegal. All of the processings, everything that has happened, the way that they remove my child, the way that everything has happened inaccurately, you need to understand. The U.S. government doesn't just owe me. It owes the extension of my family. Everyone that has gone through trauma through having to deal with this shit.
She must subconsciously know that, like, if she went to trial and, like, or went to court and, like, did the proper proceedings, uh, yeah, it just, it's better than yelling on the internet and taking drugs, like, live. It's not the best thing to do if you're just trying to get your life on track. And in some level, maybe she knows that, so she's like self-sabotaging so this kid will never end up with her. But I don't think she's that smart. She's a narcissist. Well, she is maybe not. She's not that selfless. She's a narcissist, and she's, I think, just this stupid, man. This is unfortunate stupidity. This is in Arkansas, uh, which I guess is where Boogie lives. So or was it Boogie? I forget. There was another locale I found out lives in Arkansas, and I think they should be friends. So yeah, let's continue. I think it was Boogie.
You don't understand. The corruption is extreme, and at this point, I'm going to have to sue. I'm going to have to find some way of suing because that's the only way I can do this or survive from the U.S. government is to sue the U.S. government for all the taintedness and the lies and everything that they tried to explain to me. Listen to your doctors. They help you. They care for you. And all they did was fuck up my brain even more with the pharmaceuticals. And then I acted out, and there's viable proof of all these things happening. So all of this, all of the filings, everything was illegal. They were supposed to have helped me procure shelter. There are plenty of people that were willing to help me.
So was she arrested in Illinois?
And then after I would get into these facilities, all of a sudden I was kicked out for undisclosed reasons, which is illegal. Because you're supposed to, in these systems, help regardless of the person, regardless of their mental stability. So what had happened was illegal. They discriminated against me due to my mental health, and not only that, they discriminated against me due to my mental health and criminal record in conjunction, which made it look like I was a violent person, which made it look like whomever they were dealing with deserved to get the fullest extent of the law, the most severe punishment. I don't deserve any of that. I don't deserve any severe punishment anymore whatsoever. I deserve peace and love and kindness and all the money in the world and my children back. That's what I truly deserve.
She deserves to be rich with our kids. No
men raping me in the middle of the night. For you not to process it, for you to make it look good for the viewers, right? To make it look good so that we can prove to everyone outside of the U.S. government, within the U.S. government, all the citizens, everybody, that you've been violently abusing a disabled person? So. Just what? For what reason? Was it just that funny to make me cry? Was it that funny to get your jollies by watching me go mentally insane because you couldn't manage? Huh?
Yeah, that's what everyone was looking for.
What is it about you? What is it about me? What is it about all of these proceedings that are illegal? Huh, let's spot them. Let's spot the fact that I wasn't able to file against...
Drowsy. She rants and raves. Hold on. We'll continue this in a moment. Look at the length of a lot of these. An hour and 36, 31, 5 hours. An hour and 2:49. Yeah, it's insane. She goes off.
Funny to get your jollies by watching me go mentally insane because you couldn't manage.
You got a little more sexy jerk off motions for you.
So what is it about you? What is it about me? What is it about all of these proceedings that are illegal? Huh, let's spot them. Let's spot the fact that I wasn't able to file against my rapist, the fact that it was turned around on me, and that I've had to run around looking for shelter, and I was kicked out of those shelters for a warrant that never should have been issued.
If she gets a lawyer,
warrant for my arrest that was illegally issued. Do you understand? They were finding me for stupid reasons. They were finding me. They were trying all this shit. All these people that are trying to combat what I've said. Oh, there's no proof. There's every proof. There is every single documented proof that I've been abused by the U.S. government during my entire pregnancy, during my entire 35 years, during all of it. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that I'm done. I'm done, absolutely done, that you can't manage to process.
I was muted. Yo, she could buy so many pounds of weed if she got $10,000 for her baby. She'd never have to fucking worry about it again.
Anything correctly. You're violating innocent U.S. citizens based upon their records. You are discriminating against them against filing. Do you understand that? That's illegal. What has happened in my instances, the way that they didn't process the rape reports, the way that they didn't process the rape reports years ago against the officer, which I'm going to have to go actually file. I should probably call this morning and file. And they're going to probably want me in there to file against them. And I'm going to make sure that they understand, you're not going to touch me. You're not going to put me in jail. The moment I try to start filing against people, they try to snatch me up for any reason to put me in jail. I realized that years ago when I was in and out of the psychiatric facilities because there was something wrong. Because they knew that they had filed wrong in my divorce. They knew that they had filed wrong prior to that when they assaulted me, the family members assaulted me, and I wasn't able to process that in court because I was the one that was, after being violated, placed in court, in jail. The same concept with what is going on right now physically. Like they're literally abusing me as the victim.
Oh God,
So
how many days before this was streamed did she do shrooms? Because she's definitely feeling the like afterglow of shrooms. And someone with mental health issues like this, I can't imagine that shit's amplified. I don't know if you guys have done mushrooms, but there's definitely afterwards a sense of like fulfillment inside of you, and you feel very grandiose, like you've discovered the secrets of the world. And I can't imagine someone like this having those feelings, is all.
how truthful I am. And they better give me my things back. I've been telling you, today, today, today. Is it today? Is it today? I'm not pleased. Not at all. I'm not pleased. I'm not satiated. I'm not having fun. Who would have fun at this stage? I am literally, you have driven me mad. You've driven me crazy. You've driven me out of towns. You've driven me out of facilities. All of these officers that were making up a bunch of nonsense about me, it will never come to court like that. Whatever you've been doing to defile my character and to try to slander my name, none of that will ever happen. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to you? You need to drop these charges. You need to give me my child back peacefully and willingly because all of that was illegal. We all know that paperwork, those courtrooms, every proceeding, illegally done, illegally processed because I wasn't stable enough to even be held in court, in the whole court of law, because of my disabilities, because of my mental stress, because of the trauma. My PTSD has gotten to a heightened state to where I have to literally watch over my shoulder to make sure that there are no officers. I've been afraid of officers my entire life, and I didn't do anything wrong. My family was in the spotlight for doing nefarious things, wrong. And I had to sit there and watch my back because I already knew that those eyes were everywhere, everyone. And the fact that my privacy has been invaded and violated, and everyone else in the United States.
For sure, for like when I do psychedelics, I feel like I'm pretty sane. I think I feel like I definitely know things and think I make these connections that aren't really there. So someone like this who already thinks the fucking CIA and the whole world is after her at all times, I can't imagine the psychotic thoughts and trains of connectedness that she makes that aren't there, obviously. It's got to be insane. I didn't do anything wrong. Also, Letitia has 10 mugshots. That pretty much sums it up in like 4 different states. Let's continue on.
States has been violated. Our privacy is not our privacy. They watch inside of our homes. They have monitors everywhere. And I tried to explain that to people, that if they have that, then they understand I'm innocent. Then why do they keep hurting you? They're sadistic. That's the only thing I can think of, is that they don't want to back down because they don't want to show that they're crazy. So what are they going to do? Kill me. They're going to try everything and anything and everything to kill me off, to lock me up for no good or reason, to steal my child. The only person you're hurting is the child. The only person that you're truly, truly, truly hurting is that child. And that child's going to end up with psychological issues, is going to end up with mental distortions, also emotional issues, because you didn't allow that child to stay with its mother. So that child's going to grow up learning a bunch of stuff, learning that he was hated, learning that, he's going to end up knowing the U.S. government failed him and that they were literally assaulting us while he was inside of me, and that I was locked up during the different times of his being inside of me. Rich people can get away with suing the government for this stuff. I don't have the money, per se, to fight all of this in court. And that's how they do it. They sit there and they make sure they beat down people, civilians that have no money.
There are lots of people who are broke all the time, who have no money all the time. Oh, and 1 second, I saw Drowsy's comment. It distracted me. There are people who are beat down their whole life and never get arrested, who never do whatever the fuck she's doing, whoever grift online for weed money. There's plenty of people who just figure it out and struggle. She's so fucking entitled. It is frustrating to listen to sometimes.
Until the point where it's like, legally we know. Oh, I know. We all know. But can I finance an attorney to step up in front of the courts to tell them, hey, you did all this wrong. The processing with this, you scared her into a state of having to relinquish her child. She was not stable enough to relinquish that child. She was not stable enough, but she was able to care for it. Yes, if she would have had proper housing, if she would have had the suitable housing, they would have known. But they're like, well, you didn't, blah, blah, blah. That's on you. The U.S. government was supposed to find me housing. The system was supposed to find me housing as a pregnant woman that was homeless and disabled, that I couldn't manage. I needed help.
She
I needed
has
somebody
to
to
do
help me
like
and hold my hand
paperwork.
during it
Oh,
because of the severe amount of trauma from being raped. From being raped and not
she
knowing
definitely
where
could
the
have
fuck
done
I was
it.
supposed to run to, not knowing who to go to because I have no family and I have no friends. So the PTSD, all of it clearly makes sense. Any psychologist would tell you, you've berated this woman, you've attacked this woman, you've assaulted this woman numerous times, you've mentally you've mentally abused this woman. Not even just mentally, but you physically assaulted her and you put her in jail for accusations. That's illegal. The US government's going to have to own up to a lot of things now. A lot of things, because the corruption within the systems and the fact that a disabled person, a disabled woman that was scared, running for her life, looking for some place for her child, didn't do anything wrong. Smoking medicinal marijuana is not illegal during your pregnancy. There are tons of people. They tried to make it out to be that it was one thing or another, that it was
Interesting.
neglect overall. They couldn't pinpoint
I
one
thought it
thing. They
wouldn't
made
be
up a bunch of
allowed.
accusations. Every single person that is trying to berate me and to say that I'm lying is actually lying on here. Every single person is a government operative sent to combat my story. Every single one of them that's laughing at this, that is trying to say that all my story is, doesn't make any sense, all of that is due to people that are trying to persuade others that I'm insane because they're persuading them into thinking something that doesn't exist. That the government is a good entity, that the government is there to help you. That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. They are not here to help you. If you raise your voice about something, they'll find some other way in order to remove something else from you. If you speak your mind about something, they will do anything in their power to persuade you into believing that your words are what got you in trouble. No, our freedom of speech. We have freedom of speech. You don't understand that. So they've been twisting around our words on us and using them against us. Oh, if since the father said, I best you're bound and determined to have that baby in prison. That's why they contained me while I gave birth, so that it could be part of the child's story, because the father created that outcome for the child. You think that I'm stupid. You don't see that I see the poetic justice out of everything that you've done. I see it. Oh, believe me, I've been seeing it for
She's
years.
seeing the Matrix.
All the Illuminati
She's
and all the
figuring it all out.
the illegal doings that they've been
Oh my
doing.
god, she's
Everything.
something.
So when I spoke out against these people And I tried to explain to everyone, I just want my stuff. All I want is my stuff. I want to be left alone. I want a shit ton of money so I can prepare for children. What did you do? You destroyed it. You didn't give me my money before the child. So now you destroyed. Now I'm going to be able to sue for that. Now I'm going to be able to sue for his mental anguish as well, and the fact that I wasn't able to be around my child. And then what? Because I sure as fuck shouldn't have to plead to the courts. Guess what? These papers aren't viable. It was a week after you stole them from the child from me. My mental state was not fair. If I have an attorney, they'll be able to clarify to the judge. But unless you have an attorney, the judge doesn't want to hear things out of your mouth. No matter how intelligent I am, no matter how viable the facts are, no matter any of that shit, they're going to want to hear from an attorney, somebody that paid into the system. They don't deal with these lower classmen that didn't offer enough into their system. If I don't have a title, if I'm not in the military, if I'm not, then that's discrimination. We are all equal. We should all get the same equal treatment and respect in the court of law, knowing that I didn't violate shit.
She
I
definitely
didn't
gets more than
falsify
a
any
fair
report.
shake. People are
I will
definitely
go up
so
to the judge
tolerant
and
of
I
her
will fight that
bullshit.
and say not guilty. At first I
And she's
thought,
just
no, I should just say
so
guilty because that's what they
fucking
want. They want me to say guilty, and that's what happened during my
self-absorbed.
mental status when I was locked up for 2 months and in a psych ward for a month. They didn't allow me to have a public defender. They allowed me to sign that away for some reason. And when I sign when I'm forced to be around everyone, I sign things without even reading them. I sign things without, and that's a disability, which means that you can't catch me on that. All the signatures that happened during the time of my child, of the divorce, this signing over of the custody, that's not viable. My brain wasn't here. My mental stability, not so good, because nobody was listening and nobody corrected it immediately. So here I am, sort of just wandering in the in-between, wondering, when are they going to fix it? When are they going to fix it? They know they did it wrong, right? They know they didn't. They know they did wrong, right? They're hurting a disabled person, right? They know that, right? I'm just trying. I'm doing my best. I would have take care of the baby. The baby would have just been fine. I would have just watched the baby all the time and made sure he was good.
What, in her
Made sure he
fucking
was
car?
not being violated. Made
She's
sure
not
that when he
watching
was
that
breastfed,
baby.
that I stopped smoking marijuana. I would have done all of that had I had a proper place. Everyone knew that. Everyone knows my words. Yet the longer I ramble on, the more you take excerpts of things and you share people the dishonest parts of what I say. Anything that when I'm having aggression, anytime I talk down to the baby, talk down to myself, those are lies from the devil. And I help share them because I hear them. I hear people whispering them. I hear people telling others about them. Because apparently it's just fun to fuck with disabled people. Apparently it's fun to steal and rob from the innocent. And offer it to these people that are rich already. So that's interesting. That doesn't seem right. Also, anybody who has touched my child, anyone who has physically touched my child, is going to end up with so many problems. Anyone who has physically touched my child at this point, anyone who has coddled him, anyone who is feeding him bottles, they will all end up suffering immensely. They will end up suffering worse fate than even like themselves having to be fed from a bottle. Do you understand that? Like, you are going to be so damaged and broken once the...
Whoa! I had my mic muted, so that definitely didn't pick up, but you can hear my dogs. Some crazy thunder just struck. That was nutty. Hope I don't lose power. That would be annoying. But whoa, that was nuts.
This is all done. The karma for having even touched him. Do you understand? And me not allowing you to touch him. Me not accepting you as the mother, as the owner, apparently, because they want us to purchase our children back. Once they remove the child, they want us to purchase the child back with whatever blood, sweat, and tears we have to offer. They were trying to tell me I had to find my own housing. No, you were supposed to find my housing.
How's it their responsibility?
Citizen, you failed. So that means the child was failed, and now he's in the system, and that's a failure on the U.S. government because of...
Jesus, man. Thor is a good boy. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. He's sitting by me. Yeah, she's just ranting and raving. She's saying the government owes her, and she's saying, she was attacked and none of this is her fault and she should have been allowed to keep her baby. The baby she would have killed by now. Well, she did, probably when she was high on shrooms. That would have been it. That would have been it. Pikachu, you missed. We did the first half of the Sonichu review on badwebcomics.com. Read through that. It was funny. We're now catching up on some lolcows. Letitia's in prison. We're watching her last video before she went to prison. I'm gonna do a video. Apparently, she did shrooms. I'm gonna watch that. That'll be entertaining. Um, that'll be a good video. Um, she kind of reminds me of Dana Kane. Funny you said that. Dana's who we're covering next. Her problems are everyone else's fault. It's a full conspiracy. Yeah, but Dana's conspiracy is way, 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 way more extraterrestrial. Oh my gosh. We'll see if she says anything else new in the next few minutes, and then we'll move on to Dana.
The corruption, because they had 9 months to prepare for this. And so what, you want me to share the entire story, share what happens to people, share why people are on the streets, why people are homeless? This is why. Because their money didn't give, their family didn't give enough money into the system for the system to care about each person. So the system doesn't care. And the Illuminati runs everything.
Yeah,
and so
jail,
it doesn't
prison,
matter. These people are cruel and heartless to the point where they will murder children in front of their fucking mothers. They will murder the mothers in front of the children and watch the children just die of starvation. That's how sick these people are. That's how sick they are. That's how they knew the mental anguish that was going to go on between the child and I. And they just wanted their testing. They just wanted their tests. They wanted their proof of whatever in their day and age and see what type of mental issues I have and what the child was given. So I'm done. Are you done with the testing? Can I have my child back so I can raise him properly and so that he'll try to avoid those psychological issues he's going to have? Or is he going to end up a psychopath and end up murdering half the fucking nation? And then some. I mean,
narcissist. Your kid's not killing that many people.
We all know how this is going to go. And the corruption and these weird fables that you like to tell people, these stories and the plot lines. Why the fuck was I running around scared shitless and had to offer it to the dragon? None of this makes any fucking sense.
Offer it to the dragon? What the fuck is she even talking about? She really just rambles on some fucking nonsense, yo. Yuri-san. So who's gonna visit her so she can do a jail stream through the glass barrier? I don't know. Anyone in Illinois? Where she's at? Anybody know? If so, go. Yeah, dragon. Like someone in her chat was like, what the fuck is she talking about? I'm ending it there. Yeah, Letitia's crazy. Nothing much has changed, but she did mushrooms. Here, wait, vroom vroom, it's time for shrooms. This will be a good one that we're gonna do as a group on a video. Well, not as a group, I guess just me by myself, but I'll share it with the group. Present it to the class. So Dana, yeah, I'll go back real quick. Changed her name of her channel to Daughter of Finana. And she only has a couple of videos up now. Yeah, as you can see. That was horrible, I'm sorry. Oh, that was awful. I'm so sorry, everybody. I muted, though. I had something stuck in my throat. I'm so sorry, Pikachu. I'm so sorry to everybody. It's over now. But alright, first one. The dangers of social media. We're not going to watch all these. We're just going to skim them.
How many of you feel like your lives were made worse by social media? How many of you feel like your lives were ruined by social media? How many friendships and relationships have been ruined or harmed by your social media activities? You know what I realized? Well, I wasn't gonna come back after I went to the hospital. But then I realized you guys thought I was in jail. And I can't have you thinking that. I couldn't leave on that note. I couldn't just disappear with you guys thinking I'm in jail, because that's what you thought. That's what y'all were thinking.
I don't care about social media, and I don't care about what any of you think of me, but I can't have you thinking I'm in prison. That's just absurd. I gotta set the record straight, obviously.
And I'm not about to let Tammy Huss think for a second that she's won. So I had to come back to let y'all know that I'm doing better.
She
And
looks
that
better.
I'm working on myself. I actually have a doctor's appointment, a therapy appointment. I'm actually going to start going to therapy. Because
Oh,
this
shit.
social media business has ruined not just my life, but it's hurt my mental health. It's given me a fucking drinking problem. And
Do you think, is she still drinking? Does anybody know?
I got to thinking about these social media platforms who really want you to believe that you need them, when the fact is that
All
they
right,
need you.
so
It
let's
was
go.
J-Rom's own words. Road, well, because there was no, I wanted to go and socialize. I wanted to have a life outside of the internet, off of YouTube. And then the pandemic happened.
You know, if she turns it around, good for her. But I mean, people tend to repeat cycles. She's a little older, and I wish nothing but the best. I hope she goes to therapy and she sees, hey, look at how much better I'm doing, even if people don't want to hear it. Good for her if that's the case. See your next video. See you on the flip side.
So, so I have to head out here shortly, but I was thinking about it while I was in the shower. See, most of us had healthy social development growing up. We had friends. Like, we didn't live our lives on the internet. Growing up, most of you, I'm assuming, especially if you're more my age, you know, in your 30s or 40s, 50s, you grew up at a time where your whole world wasn't encapsulated in this phone or the computer. You actually had a life outside the computer.
Very interesting that she's talking about it. Like, so she's trying to break away from exactly what she's talking about. She doesn't want to be trapped on this phone, but here she is back in front of the camera.
You had friends. You dated. You had healthy socialization. And unfortunately, thanks to the last couple
Take
of
a like, Dana.
years with lockdown, well, we're all in the same shitty, leaky boat, drinking too much and being obsessed and anxious about world events. I had a life outside of social media. Even when I was active on social media, I had a life outside of social media. I was really active on Facebook, but I would post pictures of my family, like very active, going out to, you know, and Tammy Huss never had that her whole life. I think she's
Is this gonna be like a I forgive you type video?
everybody else's activities. Everybody else in the group doesn't have she's not properly socialized.
Yep.
Probably bullied the shit out of her, and she saw me.
This is a high road to Tammy. So she posted that, but again, these are all post hospital. She went to the hospital, and she seems to be doing better. Stop picking fights. This one is a little more personal. So before we hit that one, I want to see what this one is.
Yeah, I'm not going on your panel, J. Rome. I don't know, and Anna, I don't fuck with children. So no, I'm not gonna change your diaper. But your man loves to beat women, so
She's wrapped right
I
back
just want to
into it.
know. I have a clip of him threatening to
Wrapped
assault
right
me.
back into the drama.
I sent it to the police. Yeah.
It's okay, Thor.
Yeah, you guys love to dish it out, but you can't take it. Look how triggered you are. Oh, you guys are so triggered this morning. I think it's funny. I think everybody is super entertained watching you idiots sit and spin. And I'm just over here chilling.
Are you?
Hey, I have a nail appointment today. I'm going to go get my nails done. Including with J-Rom. Everybody who hits women is a fucking pussy. And no, I'm not going to go on your panel. Tell me and so and get a fair. Most of you who claim to be my supporters all this time were actually my supporters because of how quickly you turned. Only those who have stuck with me through this, who didn't turn on me when I had a meltdown and ended up in the hospital. That's the really shitty thing is Y'all saw me losing my mind. You all saw me breaking down from the stress of this. And I ended up in the hospital, psychiatric hospital, for 2 days because I was having suicidal thoughts.
Dana ended up in the hospital because she drinks too much. She drinks too much because of all the drama that is thrown at her throughout the internet. It's her fault to a degree, and Tammy Hess doesn't help. But to just say
And you cunts went wrong.
everyone just like turned on you and didn't turn on you and are there for you and not there for you is not fair because it's all just a culmination of her own actions. It's unfortunate to say. It's most of the time the root cause of problems is you. You caused them yourself. It's to a degree your fault. And when your life spirals like that, you can't blame everyone around you. It's even if it's mental health, you got to handle it yourself. And she's gonna just continually blame and blame and blame and blame forever, just like Letitia. Now this video I did watch, and it's a little more personal. So let's watch it
All right, so
together.
I wasn't going to do this, but I am in such a good mood.
Can you guess why?
I woke up this morning and the first thing I saw was Keffel's stream from yesterday recapping the final death of Kiwi Farms. Apparently, they suffered a catastrophic hack,
Nothing to do with Kevels.
which has devastated the site to the point, like, they were deleted. Kiwi Farms has been deleted, not just from Internet Archive, but they were deleted from the server. This attack was so detrimental, and they showed Josh on Telegram, Josh Moon on Telegram, try to, like, he was losing his mind, like he was having a complete breakdown. And at the end of it, he's like, Josh Moon has a God complex, and this has completely destroyed his self-esteem and his confidence. He'll never recover from this. And in the end, he claimed he had a family emergency, and he slunk off with his tail between his legs.
He is
In order for
mentioned.
Kiwi Farms to ever come back, the site has to be rebuilt from scratch. But
That's not true.
because of
There are
all the press that
copies.
Kiwi Farms got, they'll never recover. Kiwi Farms is so, I am just giddy. I am just so fucking giddy. That was the best news. Like, that was like a gift from God. And the best part is that I actually called this. I actually predicted that.
Cows unite. No one mocks weirdos online anymore. Kiwi Farms is not dead. It'll be back. Josh is a stubborn man. He's not gonna let this go.
And it's happened. And in other news, Tammy Hess is.
But that's the biggest part of that is she acknowledges what I want to get into next, and that is Kiwi Farms, what's been going on, and this stream in particular, which we're not going to watch. But I just want to bring it up. You guys could watch it. I could even drop a link to it. I don't know if that works. But this is a very good stream that I saw recently. It is Mr. Mediker and Joshua Moon, Knoll, Kiwi Farms owner. He is a very stubborn man. I promise you this is not over. You guys should check out Mad at the Internet. Donate to Josh if you can. He's the one that makes my content possible, and a lot of other people would be very happy to know Josh is being supported. But Slobbermutt Archives posts a lot of the Mad at the Internet stuff that he does. But this was one of the best streams I've listened to in a long time. It is very informative. It is funny. I'm going to spoil what I found to be the funniest joke in it. If you remember, Russia took down the Kiwi Farms. And if you didn't ever hear why, Gino mentioned it too. Russia cited the reason for taking down KiwiFarms.ru is because a meme that was Hitler dressed as Santa Claus that said, "Ho ho Holocaust." And because of that, they decided they felt they didn't want to support the Kiwi Farms anymore. So I can respect that, I guess. But check out this podcast. It's really good. It's entertaining. They say some shit that's like a little to some people, I'm sure sometimes, but it's funny. It's in good fun. It's very entertaining. Um, it's just very good. Talks a lot about the state of the internet as a whole, in this podcast and where it's going. It's very, very informative. And there's something in particular he's brought up, and maybe you guys have seen this. It is the teacher wearing fake boobs. So there's a school teacher wearing a school protecting a teacher's right to wear massive triple X fake boobs in class isn't about trans right. It's final proof we are paralyzed by insane political correctness. So I hope they have a picture here. This teacher is insisting, as part of who they are, they have to wear this. This is how they have to dress and be to who they are. And the school is protecting them as modeling yourself after Japanese anime porn, but simply is living an adult life is an adult living out a sexual fetish of some sort. But it's people have had a theory that I wanted to touch on. If you haven't heard of this, it's fucking hilarious. He's the shop teacher. Uh, and he is this. This is him now doing his job. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so good. You can look up these articles and read them yourself. But so a theory has come out, and I think it is very, very viable. This dude is gaming the system. And Anon yet here yesterday was in this dude's class. This teacher was almost fired for toxic masculinity last year, as well as not embracing woke culture. He'd drop red pills to his class, such as how silly gender-neutral bathrooms are. The school board hates him. He's now upping the ante to exploit the very clown world the school and society itself created. His long game is most likely to get fired and then sue for discrimination. There is no other explanation. No better way to troll the clown world than to become an over-the-top caricature of a woman. And there she is. Beautiful. Oh, can I not zoom further? Yeah. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, that's better. So there she is, folks. Winning. That's what winning looks like. Ballsy, considering he's a shop teacher. Comically fakes boobs around rotating industrial equipment is ballsy. Yeah, those things are expensive. I have to imagine, right? Yeah, but I just wanted to talk about that. I think that's pretty cool. And so this actually gave me an idea. I wanted to do a search. So I did it already, and it's here ready to go. What do Reddit normies think about the kiwi farms? I use Reddit very sparingly, and I have a Reddit account here, Kiwi the Explorer. Give me a follow or whatever you do on Reddit. I don't do anything on here. We can watch porn together, I guess. That'd be cool. So here, if you just go to the new, I'll refresh even, the new post after searching kiwi farms. So reply all podcasts. So here we're just gonna look see what people say. Kiwi farms. I wish this show still existed to cover the downfall of that forum. I think I only visited once or twice after a friend sent a meme. I recently heard something they went and got shut down. Oh, I didn't. That didn't give me anything. The real bad guys in modern society are the social justice warriors. Fellow free thinkers, I've come here today to speak about something that may end up getting me banned, but I am willing to be brave the coming storm, and if it means I get to say this deeply held and personal opinion that I have. The real bad guys on the internet and in real life are social justice warriors. How can I say this? Aren't SJWs heroes that go around in electric cars trying to save the world, defeating all Republicans who love their country and are actual veterans that served in Afghanistan? Well, it would surprise you that I used to be a social justice warrior. I don't want to read this guy's post. He's going to just be bragging. Is there too long didn't read? There's not, of course not. They're not a real social justice warrior. Yeah, but they're basically, they go through it here. That's cool. There's some support. That's interesting that they came up on social justice warrior as like a Kiwi farm search. What's happening to the Kiwi farms is incredibly dystopian and should not be supported by anyone who believes in digital freedom. That's an amazing post. Great to see from solid state entities. Take down a site, ruin its owner in response to its documentation of e-celebs and internet weirdos. And it's all just because they don't like what's been said about them. Kiwi Farms is hacked. This is the Keffels subreddit. Addressed, apparently. Profiling an unIRL'd Stevie Farms users. I don't know what Stevie Farms is. Do you think that the Kiwi Farms leak is going to expose a bunch of clout-seeking woke scolds? I don't know what a woke scold is. Kiwi Farms says their hack. Assume your password has been stolen. Assume your email has been leaked. Assume any IP used on the Kiwi Farms account in the last month has been leaked. So yeah, they're talking about the leak a little bit. Just a little bit about the leak. So is good. Yeah, I know. At least he's working it. At least he's working it, to be honest. Hell yeah, he's working it. Look at him. Working it fucking hard. He must have worked for that body. How many accounts does Keffels have on Kiwi Farms? I don't know. At least 2 would be my guess. The sweetest victory against Keffels would be if Destiny just moved on and she faded into irrelevancy or splits her audience while trying to find new targets to attack. Very possible to happen. Yeah. So it seems to be a decent amount of support. Bussolini. Dox and kill him. Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to be on Kevil's side on Reddit, so that's cool. Odd coincidences. Some big brain QAnon conspiracy shit. Not QAnon. That's a bad comparison. But some conspiracy here. I think it's very possible that the Yonkis stuff is what actually happened. Yeah, Reddit says Reddit's for the normies, man. I said we're finding out what the normies are looking for. Into. Destiny misusing Kiwi Farms exclusively to harass Keffels. All unverifiable lies. The Keffels Destiny Kiwi Farm shit is going to create so many transphobes. I've thought that as well. Why does Keffels have to do this? It's creating so many fucking transphobes. It is. It's the reality of the situation. Risky Biz. Kiwi Farms discloses security breach, says user data may have been stolen. So yeah, just general stuff, I guess. That's about what I expected Reddit to provide us with on, for this. Yeah, there she is, the beauty again. So, after that, I would like to get into things I've been watching. And I've been watching one thing. I've been very busy. I've been very, very busy. And I apologize for the lack of videos as a result of my busyness. Just getting my shit in order. And with the Kiwi Farms down, there's even less motivation to do the videos at the moment. But I'm trying to find stuff that I think would be fun. We got, though, for media I have consumed, we have The Patient. The Patient. It's very good. I'll play the trailer for you guys.
So, what can I help you with, Gene?
I'm not content. I get angry. That's the sort of thing you help people with, right?
Yes. My whole life, I have been trying to figure myself out so I can help other people understand themselves so they can have good relationships. And here I am.
Time to get back into therapy?
I want you. I want the expert. I'm not normal. I need to get better.
Anyone who has come this far, who has made the choice to come to therapy and keep hammering away at the hard things, they can be helped.
But I have got bigger problems. I have a compulsion to kill people. So should I tell you more about my life?
Successful therapy requires a safe environment without anything like fear hanging over every session.
FX's The Patient.
You don't mind eating while we talk, do you?
Streaming August 30th, only on Hulu.
It is fucking great. Steve Carell's awesome. I love Steve Carell. I don't want to fuck up his name. Domhnall Gleeson? Domhnall Gleeson. I don't know how you say that. It's really good though. He is incredible in it. Steve Carell's obviously incredible. New episodes out. I guess there's going to be 10 total, maybe. Is that what that means? But there's only 5 out. They're weekly releases. Oh my God, yeah. Look at Bob Odenkirk as a dramatic actor. He was fucking incredible. There it is. Better Call Saul. Top 50 dramas. That's fair. I want to watch Severance as well at some point. But yeah, this show's incredible. I mean, you saw the trailer. That guy's Gleason plays the patient. Steve Carell is the therapist, and they get into some nice situations. Yeah, no, there's a bunch of great examples of comedic actors doing great dramas. It's just so hard to do comedy well that people just who can do that, I feel, are the top tier of actors and the top tier of performers. When you can do comedy, you're just ready for everything. If you can make people laugh, you can make people cry, is pretty much where I'm getting at. It's a talent. This isn't anything new, but I've been consuming a lot of music, and I've been loving Joji. Joji has been everything I'm listening to. If you don't listen to Joji, you're missing out. So good. Joji was Filthy Frank on YouTube, if you don't know. Joji, yeah, man, Joji, I don't even care about say this is his latest song. You guys all know Filthy Frank, right? Joji was this motherfucker? Pink guy. Pink Season. Those are some of his old songs. Are the Joji vlogs still on here? Where's the real Filthy Frank stuff?
I teach my national language from my home country because Japan is the best country in the fucking world.
Incredible.
Japan is the fucking best, and Filthy Frank is the
Oh, I have a captain. Hello?
Fucking great. If any of you never watched this.
Welcome to the rice pit. You ever take a shit so intense that you gotta like grab onto something for support? Well,
It's Joji, guys.
Support. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Japanese 101 with your boy Franku. I do these videos because anything is better than the crippling loneliness. I'm here to teach you words that
Yeah, yo. Yo. Filthy Frank is so good. I was watching some other old shit. There's another one. I brought this one up a few times. I think this one's better. Old YouTube was just so on another level. Filthy Frank was so good. Oh, who remembers this though? Anyone know the quote when he dies here? I'll give you a second. Does anybody know? There's some really good quotes.
Holy shit, this is way harder than the
It was just fuck, I knew that.
original. This is like 2 seconds. This is the beginning of the fucking level, and it's like double spikes, triple spikes, fucking shit you gotta jump over. It's fast as
Oh, how's it going, Krista? I got really sidetracked here. I was going through the music and just media that I've been enjoying, and Joji is up there. I've been listening to a ton of Joji, and so then I opened to Filthy Frank, and it made me start thinking about other wonderful old time videos. You guys remember This one. Why can't I type today?
What's up, everybody? It's Critical, and this is a video for the most difficult game I've ever played in my life. It's called QWOP, and it's fucking impossible. So, I'm commentating this while I'm playing. I'm struggling to get my character to
So
take
gold.
the proper running stance. But, what it is you are an Olympic runner by some incredible feat. But
oh my god, it's gold. Old YouTube, just gold. So I guess that's something else I've always loved is old YouTube. And to hop forward though, I've been loving Wax Fang. If you've never heard of Wax Fang, I need to smoke to the chats. I need a smoko. Oh, Crystal, I've been trying to crack out the content. I'm just with the Kiwi farms down, it makes my job a lot harder. And I've been very busy. I'm getting a new schedule. I'm adjusting right now. So, you know, working on that kind of stuff more. But Waxfang is who we're talking about right now. We've got so many bangers. So many bangers from Waxfang. This has been my favorite. I don't know if they 2019 I see here. This one's so good. Smoko. Yeah, I'll give it a listen right here. Oh, no, don't apologize, Crystal. No problem. Not your bad. I have been, though. I've really been trying to get shit out there. At least one thing a week. One thing a week is my goal. No matter what, I like to get one. If I could get fucking 10, that'd be awesome.
Why don't you come over and let me show you?
Yo, yeah, Wax Fang is way smaller, though. Look at these views and subs. They're good, though. So good. This one's really good. And then this one's really, really good. The vibe on this is just so good. Yo, they really hit with it. They hit with it. I mean, I'm sure this is like without being said. I listen to a lot of like vibey music. It's still woozy. Still woozy's real good. Pond. Mac Miller. Oh, good boy. Mad at something. Oh, but so good. It's Wax Fang. Amazing. Gotta give it a check. My Morning Jacket's good too. Which leads us into. Oh, no, it doesn't. I thought that's the one I picked. I almost did, but I picked a different one. And I've decided to make the American Dad Corner a little more official. So I got the IMDb of the episode I want up in the meantime. But I thought of it the same way. Just, I closed my eyes and I thought American Dad, and this is the one I got today. So Stan time. So Stan gets these pills from the CIA that make it so he doesn't have to ever sleep again. And he then uses that time to do fucking absolutely nothing. So then Francine finds out and insists that he give her some of the pills as well. You know what? We'll have this lightly in the background while we talk about American. Oh, spoiler, quick spoiler, but we'll get there in a second. So she has to take these pills, which she doesn't have to. She takes these pills as well, and she also is up, and she does way more productive stuff. She ends up discovering the migration patterns of the giant squid have changed, or the colossal squid, like the big one, the one that people never find. This one, the giant squid, I think is like its official name. But this big old guy right here, the ones that people don't see very often anymore. But she finds that and goes on a marine expedition, but then chooses her marriage over Stan, I guess. Or over, not Stan, the Kraken. It's not the Kraken. It's not the Kraken. It's the giant squid. They're real. They're real, damn it. And, but Stan uses his time to master the video game Beatman, which I think is way more productive. And he does good in the Beatman tournament. And the side plot in this episode is awesome. Roger is the best porn writer that this porn producer's ever seen. And he has to write a porno with Steve because the guy likes Steve's ideas. And it's amazing. It's just such a good plot. It's funny. They do it well. I forget it's Roger's name in it. It's like, fuck, I wish I remembered. I don't remember at all. Yeah, it just says Stan and Roger. It doesn't give his character, his persona's name. But yeah, and something I'm super looking forward to is Vince Gilligan's new show. Vince Gilligan is the writer, producer, mastermind of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, which are both fucking 10 out of 10, maybe 10 and 9.5 out of 10 shows. Incredible. And Vince Gilligan's next TV series starring Ray Seahorn. Ray played Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul was amazing, and Kim Wexler was one of the best parts about it. And to see that Ray and Gilligan are going to be working together on a 2-season ordered TV show is beyond exciting. So I can't wait to hear more about this coming out. And it's going to be awesome. So from what I've heard is think sci-fi. He's going completely out of the Breaking Bad world. Oh, what did I hear? On a high, yeah, it was going to be like 14 million an episode. So that's why AMC didn't take them. But Apple TV has enough money for sure. They pursued it aggressively, even as it says here. Amazing though. It's going to be so good. Oh, the season 3 premiere of Breaking Bad. What a picture. Great show. Great show. And compared to The Twilight Zone, the new series is said to be set in our world while putting a tweak on it, bending reality and focusing on people and exploring the human condition in an unexpected, surprising way. Thought-provoking but not a mortality tale, the series also is expected to carry the signature Gilligan tone that infuses drama with humor. I have got to watch Breaking Bad. Stop watching this right now and go watch Breaking Bad, you fucking heathen. It's such a good show. It's an essential. If you're like a TV guy, I've definitely become a TV guy. I love television. I love solid written TV, and I hate most TV I watch. But when you find gems, it is so beautiful. Better Call Saul's a gem. Breaking Bad's a gem. BoJack Horseman's a gem. Off the top of my head, American Dad is a gem. They're out there. You just gotta find them. Sick Note's a gem. If you check out Sick Note on Netflix, it's a gem. And yeah, I'm just super excited for that. It's gonna be super fun. Yeah, and to get in a little more into my positivity corner, I like to do a positivity segment at the end, as I am very negative about in my general videos. I feel like I'm very positive on stream though. I try to be. But in my videos I definitely come off pretty negative sometimes. And it's just the content. It's deep, dark stuff. So, I got a new job, and that's actually why my schedule's been so fucked. I'm super excited about it. I'm in sales. I've always wanted to be in sales, and I'm finally got like a good in. It's a decent job, and it's going to be great. And I'm excited to have this new path that I'm following. And it puts me on a more normal schedule. I'm no longer going to be working third shifts. So that's good. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about it, man. Excited about it, everybody. You aren't a pimp, are you? Shit. I gave up drug dealing for pimping. That's what's happened, everybody. No, I'm in sales. I'm just in sales. I wasn't in sales before. I had a really cool job before. I'm not going to talk about it, but it was very, very unique. Maybe I'll talk about it someday. But I had a very unique job that I quit, but the management was just so awful. I just couldn't take it. I was so miserable going into work. I'm happier. I'm happier overall now, so that's good. Yeah, I'm excited though. I'm super, super optimistic. Human test subject. No, I was not a human test subject. Or I'm not going to be a human test subject, but I wasn't either. I'm excited. I'm super excited about it. But yeah, I hope everybody's had a good weekend. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I had a good time today. Went through some fun stuff. We had some Wax Fang leading us out. It's a good vibe. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Anybody got any questions? More treats for Thor. That's right. You can give him a treat on we got some boo bars right here. Fucking perked right up. Oh, you're right up in the bag, aren't you? Oh, is this a good little treat for the good little boy? There you go. There you go, everybody. Thor got a treat because of you. There you go. More Soft Bunny. Thor got a treat because of you, Soft Bunny. Oh, that's the end of our beautiful Wax Fang too. Free the Letitia one. Yeah. Letitia's in jail. We could petition to get her out. If we all want to band together. We could like start like freeletitia.com and petition to Illinois, the state of Illinois. Or like Biden could pardon her and give her a house or something. I don't know. I don't know how government works. But yeah, anything else? And otherwise I'm good. Had a good time. I gotta get going. I got D&D. Cows deserve to roam free. Cows deserve to be pasteurized in the Kiwi farms. And we're gonna get it back. Don't you all worry. Don't you all worry. Yeah, please leave a like. I appreciate it when you do. It helps. YouTube's streaming sucks, like as far as availability, like findability. So it's really just up to y'all, you know? It's just up to you guys to get it out there. And me, of course, not just y'all. I had a great time. Thanks, everybody. Hope everybody has a good night. I got D&D to play. Bye. Oh, yeah. That was good. That was solid. Good day. Good night. Good evening. Be Captain Morgan as your characters. Bye.